Hello Cricketers, and welcome to Cricketing with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's tutorial, I will be showing you how to make one of those peekaboo shirts. I didn't think I would be making one, but here I am making one. Okay, so this is the way that it turned out, and I love it. And I will show you my process for getting to this perfection. That's what I'll call it. One of the things that I forgot to mention when I list the materials is that I use my Cricut cutting mat, and I also ended up using my mini heat press. Now you do not have to use these two things, but when I listed the materials that'll come up next, because we kind of did this thing out of order, you guys, I did not list this. And I didn't list this, but I will put them down in the description. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the materials that I am using to complete this project, I'm using this polyester fabric that I purchased from Walmart. It was $4 for 4 yards, and it is 100% polyester. I have my heat resistant gloves here just in case I need them. I'm using this black Gildan shirt that I purchased from Walmart. I'm using SUB paper, the Hippo ink, sublimation ink. That's what's in my printer. I'm using this butcher paper. I'll use a few sheets of that butcher paper. I am also going to be using my 15 by 15 heat press. I have it heating up to 400 degrees. That's it right there. And this is the design that I will put on my, let me move the camera so you can see it. This is the design that will go on my polyester fabric. I'm also going to use this, let me tell you what it's called. It's a rotary blade. That's what I want to call it. Okay. This is what I'll use to cut the fabric, and I'm using this to bond the polyester to the cotton shirt. Okay, so several things. And the printer that I have is the Epson 2760. Okay, in order to create this design, I did use Canva. I do have a Canva Pro account. So what I did was I went to create design. So I'm just going to click right here in the upper right hand corner. And when you click create design, you have the option to customize the size you want it. Because I know the paper that I'm using, this SUB paper, is 8.5 by 11. And I'm learning that with sublimation, you want to have your printed image, the size that you're working with, a little bit bigger. I just changed mine to 8.75. So I just went to 8.75 and I changed it to by 11.5, and I changed it to inches. So if I click create new design, it's going to give me a blank page. Okay, and this page is 8.75 by 11. What I did next was I uploaded the design that I wanted to use from Design Bundles. And when I uploaded it at first, you have the option to set it as a background image. The reason why I didn't go with just using it like this and just trying to stretch it out was because it still had a lot of white there. So instead of doing that, what I did was, let me cancel that. Within Canva, there is something called elements. Okay, and you have the option to change the background to kind of pretty much whatever you want. So what I did was I found a purple that kind of matched the purple that's in that design, and I set that as the background, and then I went back to my uploads and I added that design so I wouldn't have any white on there. And so when I stretch this out, no matter how big I stretch it, the whole thing will still be white. Okay, so it doesn't look like it right now, but let me show you. So all I need to do is go back. Okay, so this is how I don't know why it keeps doing that. This is how I want my image to look, and I called it "Witch Please" because that's what it says. And I really don't need to save this again because I already have it saved. Okay, but I will. So I'll just download it. I didn't change anything here. And then once I had it downloaded, I went over to Silhouette Studio, which is also free. Now I'm not using the free version of Canva, but I am using the free version of Silhouette Studio. So when I went into Silhouette Studio, I already have it here, but I'll show you what I did to get to it. So I can go to File and then go to Merge. Okay, and then this is the one that I just downloaded. Okay, and you know, you see it's the same exact file, so I don't need to just do it, you know, twice. So I'm going to delete this one because I don't need it. And with this, I just resized it to the full size of the paper. I didn't change anything here. I didn't change anything here at all. Okay, so you have options to, you know, change your page setup. I didn't do any of that. So the next thing I did was I went to print. Then it gives me a print preview, and then I click print again. I chose the printer, my Sublimation printer. I hit preferences. When the preferences come up, this is on a Sublimation preset. My Sublimation preset is the rear paper feed, 8.5 by 11, portrait, premium presentation matte, high quality. Two-sided printing is off, of course. All of my settings are they've already been established. So I can click OK and click print. My paper is already loaded in my printer, and it's going to print pretty slow. So when it comes out, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I have my picture printed out, and I know that I don't want the slits to show, to allow any of the white to show. So the next thing I'll do is measure the actual size of the image and make sure that when I'm making the slits in my shirt, that it's not bigger than this purple part, the purple color on the image. So what I've done is I've just taken a sheet of, just a regular sheet of cardstock. I'm going to put my Cricut cutting mat under the shirt when I start to make the slits, and I'll make sure that none of my slits are longer than 8 inches. So I'm taking my Cricut cutting mat. I don't have one of those t-shirt guides that you could put the shirt over, but this works perfectly. I will take this and put it inside the shirt, just using a regular, you know, 100% cotton Gildan shirt that I purchased from Walmart. And I'm going to use a regular schmegular pen. Okay, and when I go across, I'm not cutting yet. I'm just, you know, doing this to measure. I know that I don't want when I cut the slits, I don't want them to be more than 8 inches. So when I do start to make my lines, I don't want them to be longer than 8 inches. You know, and if you're not worried about yours being straight, skip this part. So one way to do it is just, you know, go down the line like this, but another way to do it is to actually use the cutting mat. I'm going to use the cutting mat and just make lines that are not longer than 8 inches. I don't want any of the cuts in the shirt to be longer than 8 inches. And so the next thing I'll do is I'll take this and put it inside the shirt. and use this as my guide to start making my cuts. Put this on top just like that, and this is my cutting guide. And just cut down. And remember, my goal is to not be wider. So not only do these lines help me keep my width together, they also, you know, help me with spacing. And I think I'm going to go over them twice just to make sure I went all the way through the fabric. And if you want more cuts, like you want, you know, more of a, oh, I like that. I like the way this cut. I can just check it. Okay. And then what you can do, what I will do, is just cut these extra pieces off because it'll just look kind of weird. There's a woman named Lakeisha in my Facebook group, and she said, "Delonda, are you gonna make these shirts?" And I said, "No." And look at me. I couldn't stop thinking about it when she said it because I don't want her to have to go somewhere else for a tutorial that she needs. Okay, not that I can do everything because I certainly cannot. I'm still learning myself, but okay, this looks pretty good. I actually like this. So if I wanted to add, you know, a few lines here or there, even though my message is not long, it just says, "Which please." I think that's pretty funny. Let me just add a few, just a few. You can be able to see it. Okay, not too many. It's not necessarily my style. Okay, this one's kind of thick. I might as well just do it. And you know what? Even though I'm making these a little thinner, they're still pretty much evenly spaced out because I just, you know, cut them in half. So I think that's going to be really cute. Really, really cute. Okay, I have a piece of fabric that is, this is just a cut piece of the polyester fabric. I use my scissors to cut it, and it's just bigger than my image. So what I'm going to do is get this pressed onto the polyester fabric. Before I do that, I am going to give this a little bit of heat. And when I say a little bit, I really do mean it. Maybe 5 seconds. My heat press is set to 400 degrees. Okay, so I have my piece of fabric. It's bigger than my design. I'm going to put it face down here, and once I put it face down, I'm going to use 2 small pieces of the Cricut brand heat resistant tape. And when I say small pieces, I really do mean it. Just to keep the image in place so it doesn't move. I'm going to put this, I want to put butcher paper on the plate. And I'll show you. And then I'm going to put this on top of the butcher paper. And I'm going to put butcher paper on top of that. And I'm going to use 2 pieces of butcher paper. I have my heat press is on $3.95, but I have the one sheet of butcher paper on the bottom, then my image, then the polyester sheet, then the image, then 2 sheets of butcher paper on top of that. And I have it set for 60 seconds. Okay, my heat press went off. I'm going to take the image from the heat press. Okay. Super vibrant. And I love it. So now what I will do is I will put some of the tape, this fabric bond, on the corners of this image, and once you add heat to this tape, it bonds it to the fabric. So this will bond to this piece, and then I'll add some heat and I'll bond it to the black shirt. So you'll see what I mean by that. So what I want to do is just kind of go along the edges here. So I'll cut enough to, just go right here. Same here. Cut enough just to go here. Just place it here. And you want to place it on the same side as the image, because remember, this is what is going to show through those cuts. Okay. And I think for this, I am going to use my mini heat press. So I'm letting my mini heat press heat up. I'd rather use that instead of trying to move this and risk this tape moving. I'd rather just bring the heat press to this. Now, of course, I could also use my Cricut Easy Press for this. I do have a 9x9, but it's not out and plugged in and all of that. This is my HTV Ront little mini heat press, and this, look how cute. It's still heating up. See, it's still blinking. And when it's ready, it will turn green and it'll beep. This one does have an automatic shut off, and I love it. It's, I didn't go with the Cricut brand. Just wanted to have another option. Okay, I have it pressed down. So now what I'm going to do, I don't need this anymore, is turn my shirt inside out. Here's my shirt. And I am going to take my my polyester fabric now and remove all of this and place it on the shirt, and then add heat again so that this will bond to that. So I'm kind of just double checking. And you know what? It looks like I could have even gone bigger with my cuts, but I think I like it like this. So now I'll just see how that's bonding, so you can see that. And even though this is not cut, I don't know if you can see, even though this is not cut perfectly, nobody should be seeing the inside of your shirt. If you do, that's a whole other issue. Okay. All right, so I'm going to turn it over and reveal it, and we shall see how it goes. Look how cute. And so once I look how, look, y'all better, Lord have mercy. I love it. I love it. So I can stretch it out a little bit and I don't have any of the white showing. I love the way this came out. And let me go and share my final thoughts. Okay, so hopefully you were able to follow my process. I know this one is a little bit hard to read, but it does say which please. I think that's kind of funny. And that's also something I would wear. So, you know, your goal here was to see the process, and I'm sharing my process with you. I do have a Facebook group. It is called Cricut Crafting with Delonda. We are in the middle of Cricut Crafting Challenge number 7 right now. So if you are up for a challenge, come and join us. We don't do sales. We don't do dumps. What we do is share, help, and encourage one another, and we welcome you to join. When you're going through the join process, make sure you answer all the questions because the moderators are very, very specific about that. So as soon as you answer all the questions, it's kind of like an automatic thing. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and thanks for watching. Bye.